Hi, Lucia here from the Which Money podcast, alongside our weekly episodes where we give you all the best advice on how to make the most of your money. We've launched Money Shorts. Each fortnight we bring you a taster of the Which Money magazine with hand-selected reviews, investigations and features by our award-winning writers brought to life on the podcast. That means you can get a taste of what the Which Money magazine has to offer without paying a penny. So join us every Monday for a brand new episode of Money Shorts, as well as every Friday for your regular episode of the Which Money podcast. Just search for Which Money wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello and welcome to the Which Shorts podcast. I'm James Rowe. This is the podcast that brings you the very best from Which with a weekly taster of some of the brilliant journalism you can expect from your suite of magazines. This week we're looking at something that seems to be discussed more and more now in the mainstream, and that's gut health. In the June edition of the Which magazine, Shefali Loth looked at the current evidence of whether gut health is another overhyped health trend or if you should get on board with it. Here's her piece, read by Adrian Bradley.
Your digestive system is no longer something that needs to be discussed in hushed tones. It's mainstream and everyone's talking about it. But why is gut health such big news? And how do you sort the useful health insight from the hype? Research into gut health has ballooned and revealed that a healthy gut is central to our well-being. The most studied element of this is the link between the gut and the brain. Gut health has been shown to impact your mental health. This explains why we talk about having butterflies in our stomachs when nervous. It's also why people with irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, often have anxiety, and vice versa. Gut health is also strongly linked to your immune system, and it's estimated that 70% of immune cells live in the gut. People with poor gut diversity feel run down more often and are more susceptible to colds. Caitlin Colucci, a dietitian and British Dietetic Association spokesperson, says your gut health is so important that it's considered to be your second brain and the centre of overall health. The gastrointestinal tract is up to 9 meters long and houses trillions of bacteria, most of which live in your colon. These bacteria help you digest food, absorb nutrients, and break down dietary fibre. Fungi and viruses also live in our guts, and together this collection of microbes is called your gut flora or microbiota. Everyone, even identical twins, has their own individual microbiota, and its makeup is influenced by multiple factors, including genetics, diet, environment, and age. A diversity of microbes in your microbiota has been linked to better overall health. So what does a healthy gut look like? Well, there's no exact blueprint for what a healthy gut looks like, but we do know when it's not working properly. Symptoms of an unhealthy gut include bloating, pain, excessive wind, diarrhea, constipation, feeling tired or lethargic, and constantly catching colds and viruses. Most people will experience some of the above occasionally, and that's not cause for concern. But if your symptoms are frequent, your gut health could probably do with some attention. Colucci says, for some people, it's normal to poo up to 3 times a day. For others, it might be 3 times a week. But if you notice a sustained change in your bowel habits and the consistency of your stools over a 3-month period, talk to your GP. Lots of things can impact your gut microbiota. Some, such as your genes and age, are outside of your control. But diet, environment, sleep and exercise play a big part too. Diet has a huge influence on gut health, and the best thing you can do for your gut is to eat a diverse range of plant foods. This means fruit and vegetables, but also whole grains, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices, and legumes such as chickpeas, beans and lentils. Diversity is key. Aim to eat a range of different things. For example, if you tend to eat the same old fruits as a snack, try mixing it up regularly. Research suggests we would all benefit from eating 30 different plant foods each week, and it's not as tricky as it sounds. Unlike 5 a day, where a portion is around 80 grams, or the recommended fibre intake of 30 grams a day, There are no specific measures for the 30. A pinch of spice can count. It doesn't have to be expensive either, because dried, fresh, frozen and tin foods all count. Why 30? Well, a 2018 study showed that people who ate a more diverse diet, 30 or more different plant foods a week, had a more diverse gut microbiota than those eating just 10. Don't get too bogged down with the numbers though, and just aim to mix things up where you can. For example, you could try mixed leaves in your salad rather than just one type. Sprinkle some mixed nuts or seeds on your meals, or why not add frozen mixed berries to your cereal or as a topping on your yogurt? So what shouldn't you eat? There is some evidence that shows artificial sweeteners can negatively impact your microbiota. However, most of this comes from animal studies, and the links from human studies aren't as consistent. What is conclusive is that drinking too much alcohol and smoking are detrimental to your gut's microbiota, as are some medicines. Antibiotics, although sometimes necessary, have a negative effect on your gut health because they don't discriminate. They wipe out both good and bad bacteria. Other drugs that have a negative effect on your gut microbiota include proton pump inhibitors, used for acid reflux and stomach ulcers, and laxatives. Interestingly, some drugs, including beta blockers for blood pressure, statins for cholesterol, and metformin for type 2 diabetes, appear to have a positive effect and encourage the growth of certain gut bacteria. Disturbed sleep, either through shift work, jet lag, or insomnia, also negatively impacts the gut microbiota. What about supplements? The increased interest in gut health has been a boon for companies, with a range of gut-friendly products hitting supermarket, pharmacy, and health food shop shelves. Many promise a range of benefits to your gut health, generally due to the inclusion of probiotics, or friendly bacteria. Probiotics are the good microbes in our gut. They're naturally present in cultured and fermented food, such as live yogurts, miso, and certain cheeses, including aged cheddar, Swiss cheese, Edam, and Parmesan. The definition of a probiotic is a live microorganism that has evidence of a health benefit. Because of this, the UK and EU consider the term probiotic to be a health claim. There are currently no approved health claims for probiotics because there's no evidence that probiotics offer the same benefit to everyone. As such, products containing probiotics can't use this label on their packaging. Instead, they're labelled as containing live cultures. There are 4 golden rules of gut health, but do beware of taking extreme measures without seeking advice, and do make sure to look at the bigger picture. 1. It's about more than your diet. While dietary diversity is important, so are other lifestyle factors, such as managing stress, not getting enough sleep, exercising, limiting alcohol intake, and not smoking. If you're having gut issues, try limiting your intake of caffeine, fatty food, and spicy food. 2. Don't go it alone if you're having gut issues. If you have ongoing or new issues, it's better to discuss these with your GP rather than trying to solve it yourself with supplements, however much they promise easy fixes. You can end up spending a lot of money and potentially making symptoms worse. 3. Don't expect overnight transformations. If you're making changes to your diet, it's best to do these gradually to give your gut time to adjust. In the case of upping your fibre intake, by adding more fruit, veg, and whole grains, too much too soon could exacerbate symptoms such as bloating. When you increase your fibre intake, it's important to up your water intake. Also add probiotics and fermented foods gradually. Add half a portion each day for a week before increasing the amounts. 4. Avoid cutting out whole food groups. Dairy and gluten are often blamed when people suffer from IBS or gut symptoms, but cutting them out entirely has risks. A restricted diet of any sort starves us of a diverse gut microbiota, as well as risking nutritional deficiencies. With cutting out dairy, there's a risk of calcium deficiency, and with gluten, you could struggle to get enough fibre. Dietitian Caitlin Colucci says, gut health is about inclusion, not exclusion. Seek guidance from a dietitian on any exclusions.
Adrian Bradley was reading that piece by Shafali Loth, originally published in Which Magazine's June edition. Want to subscribe and get the magazine delivered direct to your door? I'll pop a link in the description of today's show. If you want to hear even more like this, then why not check out Money Shorts over on the Which Money podcast feed. Each fortnight we'll be giving you a taster of what you could be getting from the Which Money magazine, if you were a member. Just like we do with tech, travel, gardening and the main Which magazine here on Which Shorts, we'll be handpicking some of our favourite pieces from the Money mag and bringing them to life in audio form. So why not search for Which Money wherever you're listening to check out Money Shorts today. We'll be back next week for another episode of Which Shorts. Thanks for listening. Which Shorts was produced and edited by me, James Rowe, while the exec producer was Grace Farrell.
A power of attorney gives you the peace of mind of knowing you've protected yourself and those you love by assigning someone you trust to make key decisions for you when you can't. We don't know if or when that day will come, so the sooner we do it, the better. Completing this important legal document incorrectly can lead to costly delays, and, in worst case scenarios, an uncorrected error can invalidate your power of attorney. At Which, we'll help you get it right. Our specialist review service puts your power of attorney in the best place to be approved first time, and to work when you need it to. Our specialists will go through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure it's error-free and legally compliant. Buy today or before the 30th of June to save 30%. And to do that, just head to whichwills.which.co.uk/POA offer. That's whichwills.which.co.uk/POA offer.